is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, thousands of kids head back to the classroom, and school districts, parents, and students across Southwest Florida are making sure they're ready for the first day. While some parents opted for virtual learning this year, many say they just want their kids back in the classroom eventually. Many kids will be catching the bus to class this morning. In Lee County, bus drivers are responsible for sanitizing 4 times a day in between each route. Children must also wear a mask during the entire bus ride. If a student or driver tests positive, that bus will be taken out of service for at least 3 days. And students taking part in the Lee Home Connect program can get breakfast and lunch meals starting on Tuesday. Parents, you can get 5 meals for the week. You can pick them up on Tuesdays or Thursdays from 7:15 a.m. until 8:30 a.m., depending on which school grab-and-go location you choose. No power right now at the Gateway Charter Elementary School. They say the storms we had last night caused a transformer to blow. Officials say it will likely not be repaired by the start of the school day today. They'll communicate with families this morning with the latest information on a school closure. From masks to hand sanitizers to social distancing, schools will look a lot different. Collier County Public Schools wants to ease your mind when it comes to protecting your kids. Safety glasses are now optional, and a lunch will not be eaten at a desk, but it will be eaten in a cafeteria or outside. Small business owners in Collier County can now get some more money to help stay in business. Today, more than $10 million will be up for grabs. It's all part of the Collier Cares Act. The deadline today is September 14th at noon. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Good Monday morning. The roadway's pretty busy this morning as we're heading back to school today. There is a crash at Palm Beach Boulevard and State Road 31. This is slowing traffic down on Palm Beach Boulevard for about a half mile. If you're heading east towards Buckingham Road, maybe heading out towards Riverdale High School, think about taking Orange River. It's up to speed. The Trip to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Back to school for the kids, and today we're looking at more heat, more humidity. At least for a portion of the day, we will see a chance for some scattered rain and storms. Initially, we'd start along the coastline, then push inland as we go throughout the day. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the 90s with our heat index over 100. More scattered rain and storms for the rest of the work week, the weekend, and all the way towards Labor Day as it gets even hotter with temps in the lower to middle 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News, the conservative, smart, right voice of Southwest Florida.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing costs program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
For over 20 years, the Good Feet store has been helping people with foot pain get back to doing what they love without their feet getting in the way. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers.
Home is truly where the heart is. To protect it, you need top quality roofing installed by experts. That's why we chose CFS Roofing Services. Now my home's weather-tight and beautifully resilient.
New roof leak from old Hurricane Irma damage? Insurance claim deadline is September 9th. Call CFS now for a free roof analysis. 561-2600 or cfsroofing.com. I'm David Crowther, and I approve this message.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-294-3311. 800-294-3311. 800-294-3311.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're joining us today. 239-479-5592. The text line, the phone line, anytime you want to call, streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel while you're there. We do appreciate it. A busy morning of news. Kids getting back to school. The Utes are getting back to school. You all ready? Jake the Millennial, you got friends, people that you know heading back to school in some way, shape, or form? Do you know anybody that's going back to school?
Friends, Drew.
What's that? I apologize. I'm bringing up a sore subject for Jake.
It's too early for that.
It's too early for.
I have a couple, yeah.
All right, so you know some people that are going back to school. Thought it would never happen. Everybody, finally, we got thousands of students getting ready to head back to the classroom in Lee County and Trumps County, excuse me, and they're ready to go. I know a lot of parents that I've talked to said that they have been ready to go for a long time, and knowing that there are plenty of options out there. And when I say options, I mean that so many people that I talk to have been upset with this idea that there's only one way to do this. For those that have been scared, worried about kids going back to school and whether or not their child is going to get the Rona, and if they do, what's that's going to be like. Teachers who are making last will and testaments. Because if you're that concerned, then don't do it. It was simple since day one. If you are concerned about the virus, if you're somebody who has a comorbidity, if you're somebody that was concerned about being in the classroom and you're not feeling good about the way that the district is setting up safety protocols in the district, then by all means, there are other ways for you to teach. There are other ways for your students to learn. The online programs that are there, the designated workspaces, all the things that have been set up. And there is some news on the virus that I don't know if any of you have noticed, but if it's the way it's been described on social media and the amount of people that have put this out there on their Facebook and Twitter accounts, I think everybody is aware of it. Jake, did you hear about this over the weekend, that the CDC changed some of the numbers and the data that is out there to say that, what was it, the only 6%, according to this new CDC data, Americans who died in the past 7 months, only 6% died from the virus alone. The other 94% had serious comorbidities that unfortunately put them at higher risk of death from anything that came along. And that now, as this information has come out, people are like, whoa, wait, what? What do we, did you, I don't know if you noticed that on social media, because
would you look at that?
On my well, apparently this is something you just learned this morning. On my social media feed, it was all over the map. Every place you looked. Now, I don't mean all over the map like they weren't sure what they were talking about. I mean that it was all over the map that is social media. Almost every other post was somebody reposting that post about it. There was... Now, I'm trying to find... I couldn't I couldn't find who did it. I did see it over the weekend, and maybe you witnessed it. 239-479-5592 if you want to text or if you want to call, because someone did a fact check. You know the fact checkers that are out there, because they certainly don't want this misinformation out there. How dare you say that this is something that is taking place, that the CDC put it out there. And the fact checkers were on, I don't know if it was Facebook that did their own fact checking. It was crazy how quickly the fact checkers were out, and that it's not true. The fact checkers were not right. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention website disclosed a shockingly small number of people who died from only the Wuhan coronavirus, with no other cause of death mentioned. Hold on to your hat, because here it is. This was someone who was reporting on this. I'm reading this from American Thinker. Out of the 161,392 deaths in the CDC data, just 6%, about 9,700 deaths were attributed to the coronavirus alone. According to the CDC, the other 94% had an average of 2.6 additional conditions or causes of death, such as heart disease, diabetes, and sepsis. Instead of protesting the vulnerable, the elderly in nursing homes and those with comorbidities, in places like New York City, where with Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's being touted as the next president of the United States, or should be, although maybe not right now, because Joe Biden's still around there, and Joe Biden believes that he's going to be the next president.
Facts.
As long as he can figure out where he's at. Health experts recommended locking everyone up and prescribing for Americans a wide range of ailments such as depression, suicide, missed early cancer screenings, unemployment, substance abuse, and poverty. That is a fact. That's something that's brought up that is not brought up enough, everybody, and it's the fact that because of the lockdown, the shutdowns, the lockdowns that were demanded, that we had to have because of a virus that took the lives of, unfortunately... Don't start making this about this flippant attitude of deaths due to the coronavirus. Don't put words in people's mouths. Don't do that. But when we were told that this is something that we needed to lock down the economy, we needed to lock down schools, kids going back to school right now, where they're concerned, if parents that are listening right now, you should feel, of course, that number one, the science and the data, the idea that going back to school, somehow schools would be an unsafe place to be, of course, not true. The science and the data does not support that, so getting back to school is a good thing. 9,700 deaths attributed to the coronavirus alone. 9,700 out of the 161,000 deaths, out of the 300 million plus people that are in the United States, and you know how many cases, and all we hear about are the cases, case numbers. Of course, we don't talk about how many of the case numbers, once again, are people that have the virus, and just like that, it's gone. They don't have any of the symptoms needing medical attention, needing hospitalization. We've been through this. We know all of this, right? And unfortunately, somehow, this has come up. Jordan Schachtel, who is one of many people on Twitter who have been following this, along with Phil Kerpen, accounts that you should be following if you're concerned about the latest with the virus and what we know and do not know and what we're being told and we're not being told. We already know that thousands of people in the U.S. who died of completely unrelated circumstances had been listed as COVID deaths. If they had no preconditions, they could be listed in this 6%. So the conclusion is, look, if you're healthy and you're in shape, COVID's not a threat to you. This is Jordan Schachtel's words. And again, do we have evidence? Evidence to show, remember all the things I'm talking about right now? If you're sitting in your car, if you're getting ready to take the kids to school, if you're waking up this morning, this is not bad news. This is good news on the health front. It's bad news on the information front, because of how it's been put out there. But, again, do you have examples? I can give you a few different examples. One audio and one that I will remind everybody of, where we were told that someone died of COVID, But it turns out that they were in a motorcycle accident. Remember the motorcycle accident? Where was that? In Orlando, I think it was. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was, but that time where we had the motorcycle accident where we were told it was a COVID death, but they died in a motorcycle accident. And if you remember, it was in Illinois? And it was in Illinois where they were talking about how COVID patients and the deaths being reported. This is in the state of Illinois. And how the
definition of people dying of COVID. So the case definition is very simplistic. It means at the time of death, it was a COVID positive diagnosis. So that means that if you were in hospice and had already been given, a few weeks to live, and then you also were found to have COVID, that would be counted as a COVID death. It means that technically, even if you died of a clear alternate cause, but you had COVID at the same time, it's still listed as a COVID death. So everyone who's listed as a COVID death doesn't mean that was the cause of the death, but they had COVID at the time of death.
Okay, so just putting that out there to reassure people on this morning back to school. This should be reassuring. This should be you should feel good about this. So, I mean, the way it's being reported, the numbers that we have now, what we are seeing, and if you should be concerned about kids going back to school or you going back to work, opening up the economy, getting things full bump. Let's go. Let's get back. Reminding people that places like Peru, where we were told, Peru, major lockdown. This is, again, a perfect example of what we should have been doing since day one. We should be more like Peru. I don't know. It depends on who you ask. If it's Bernie Sanders, you got to be more like, communists across the globe, right?
This is what you do.
Because it's what you do. Till you find out now that Peru is having a huge, large spike in cases. Why? Well, you know why. All right, 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio anytime you want to watch. So everybody, the kids getting back to school, how do you feel about that this morning in Trump County? Their kids getting ready, and hopefully you are as well. We can talk about that coming up. One of the other things we're going to talk about is the way that, speaking of reporting, and speaking of what is happening with this president, how it feels as if desperate times call for desperate measures, and what Democrats are saying and doing now, the mayor of Portland, and how he went after Donald Trump, as you have violence, death on your streets squarely in your town, in your city. You can't avoid it. Unless you're a Democrat, then you can blame Trump, and you can put it squarely on his shoulders instead because it's a lot easier. It's really sick what's going on with not only the reporting, but what Democrats in major metropolitan cities where rioting is happening, what they are willing to say and do and not do is disheartening. But we'll talk about that coming up. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News right all along. We got to find out what's going on with traffic right now near you. Let's get the latest right now with Sabrina Katz. She's got your traffic.
Good Monday morning. The roadway's pretty busy this morning as we're heading back to school today. There is a crash at Palm Beach Boulevard and State Road 31. This is slowing traffic down on Palm Beach Boulevard for about a half mile. If you're heading east towards Buckingham Road, maybe heading out towards Riverdale High School, think about taking Orange River. It's up to speed. The Trip to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority. The back-to-school forecast for you Monday includes a high temperature of 91 degrees, our heat index over 100, as we will see a chance for some passing scattered showers and storms as we go throughout the late morning and all the way into this afternoon. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This Fox Business Report is presented by Gulf Shore Business Magazine, online at gulfshorebusiness.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Some crucial reports coming up this week. We'll get a look at how much we're spending on construction this coming Tuesday. And Friday, the monthly jobs report for August gets released by the Labor Department. United Airlines announced this weekend it's dropping ticket change fees. The company's CEO says losing that $200 fee was a top request from customers, but the policy only applies to flights within the U.S. A charitable arm of Ford Motor Company is producing personal protective equipment for at-risk communities.
The pandemic is disproportionately hitting black communities, so the bulk of the 10 million masks and PPE going to businesses in our inner cities so they can safely welcome back customers, and to children so they can return to school. Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
I'm David Scranton. Do you know how to convert your retirement savings into steady income? Start by calling the Retirement Income Store today.
Call 866-976-9518. That's 866-976-9518.
The Retirement Income Store, where retirees go for income.
Online at theretirementincomeStore.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Sound Income Strategies, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisory firm.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Thinking about new kitchen and bathroom countertops? Rock Solid's full granite slabs starting at $499, quartz $599, remnants starting at $150 means now is the time to save at Rock Solid. Rock Solid is a worldwide importer. Certified fabricators, installers, true artisans and craftsmen. Shop direct. Don't get caught by hidden costs and delays from the big box stores. Call Rock Solid 239-596-7676. On the web, rocksolidnaples.com. Installation in about a week.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for a pivotal role at her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology identifies the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. Monica did, and that's how she found Lamont, her new project superintendent.
The job is so perfect for me. I had a career breakthrough. I would have never found this job if it wasn't for ZipRecruiter.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists. With ZipRecruiter, we get hiring results.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday morning at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When I was born, I got lucky, a gift if you will. My early life was really hard for many reasons, but at the time, it really didn't seem all that hard. I had a close relationship with my brothers and sister and loads of friends. Those days of desperation and poverty led me to my job today, representing the people, not the powerful. But my job is really not a job because I never considered it work. In many ways, it's more like a public service. Now, as I age, I get to look back at all the cases and all the people and all the trials. And the best part is when I get to see you all out and about. When I pray before I sleep, I thank God for the gift I received at birth, the genuine love I have for people, all people. Maybe that's why my work never seemed like work to me. When I was born, I got lucky. I got to meet all of you. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Dial pound law on your cell.
offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking to my good friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. And I love talking to Dave because when I talk to Dave, I know that means he has something special for you. In this case, like I have in my home, Core Tech is absolutely amazing, Dave. And I got to tell you, I love it. My wife loves it. And boy, you've got a lot of Core Tech right now in stock.
Yes, we do. And we've got about 6 or 7 truckloads coming to beat the tariff increase. And we're going to guarantee a freeze of the prices on all our in-stock Core-Tech. We're not going to go up 50 cents a square foot, and we're going to save it for our customers.
And so when it comes to Core-Tech, I mean, it is just amazing the selection that you have. And not only that, the installation is incredible. What you do there is fantastic.
Yes, and we stock 100 colors of Core-Tech.
Floor Meisters, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. I see Steven's in Cape Coral. We got about a minute and a half. Wanted to hear his thoughts on the kids this morning. The Utes of America, well, at least in Trump County, going back to school. And Steve, you've got some thoughts?
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Awesome.
I just wanted to say, my kid was in child care this whole time. They never closed child care for pretty much all the child cares because, first responders and other people and people working in healthcare and whatnot had to let their kids still go to school and or child care. And, so I'm not really sure why they did it in the first place. But on second hand, I was going to comment on the numbers kind of being botched, only being 6% of what they actually reported. I don't really see how there's any way to get a correct number when the hospitals, they're in the hole. They can't do elective surgeries. Nobody wants to do elective surgeries. Emergency room visits are upwards in the 50% less than they were prior to the virus. They're looking to fill the void. And if they get paid to classify something as a COVID death, I think they're going to take that opportunity and stretch it so that they get some reimbursement from the government, which they do, which is
that's true.
I don't think you're ever going to know the true number.
Well, even a New York Times report, potentially 90% of those who have tested positive for COVID have such insignificant amounts of the virus present in their bodies that such individuals do not need to isolate, nor are they candidates for contact tracing. So health experts were like, why did we say that they're positive? They didn't even have enough there to even worry about isolating. So now even that is out there in the ether. Stephen at Cape Coral, hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate your perspective there. 239-479-5592. We allowed to talk about that? Again, we need to be an open full bump. We need to feel secure and confident in sending our kids back to school today in Trump County. I know the kids going back. These numbers out there just to remind everybody of where we are and some of what has happened up to this point. But when we come back, how about the president versus the mayor of Portland? Some of the outrage out there. We'll talk about that coming up.
This is Daybreak 92.5 Fox News.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip for the day. When you call us at 239-482-1542, what you'll get is a warm reception. We'll send out a real NATE-certified expert mechanic who will treat you and your time with respect. Our team will help to inform you of the situation and correct any issues that we find. Our goal is to make sure your experience with our team is a pleasant one, and we work very hard every day to meet that goal. Kobe is who we are, and cooling is what we do. But we also know we're nothing without you. Thank you, Southwest Florida, for almost 70 years of trust in our family. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949, serving local Southwest Florida families for almost 70 years.
For over 20 years, the Good Feet store has been helping people with foot pain get back to doing what they love without their feet getting in the way. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason.
Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000. That's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154. Equal housing lender.
Looking for a frameless shower door? My Shower Door has just opened their 8th Florida showroom, and it's conveniently located in Cape Coral. With more than 75,000 frameless shower doors installed, no one has more experience and 5-star reviews than My Shower Door. We've been named #1 by readers of the News Press and Naples News for 17 consecutive years and have just been named as Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
Are you ready for kids who eat healthy? Good nutrition can lead to great things. To find out how a healthy lifestyle can help your child succeed, go to mypyramid.gov. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and USDA.
When you went car shopping, you meant business. You aced vehicle history searches and test drives. Now you've got your wheels. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, thousands of kids head back to the classroom, and school districts, parents, and students across Southwest Florida are making sure they're ready for the first day. While some parents opted for virtual learning this year, many say they just want their kids back in the classroom eventually. Many kids will be catching the bus to class this morning. In Lee County, bus drivers are responsible for sanitizing 4 times a day in between each route. Children must also wear a mask during the entire bus ride. If a student or driver tests positive, that bus will be taken out of service for at least 3 days. And students taking part in the Lee Home Connect program can get breakfast and lunch meals starting on Tuesday. Parents, you can get 5 meals for the week. You can pick them up on Tuesdays or Thursdays from 7:15 a.m. until 8:30 a.m., depending on which school grab-and-go location you choose. No power right now at the Gateway Charter Elementary School. They say the storms we had last night caused a transformer to blow. Officials say it will likely not be repaired by the start of the school day today. They'll communicate with families this morning with the latest information on a school closure. From masks to hand sanitizers to social distancing, schools will look a lot different. Collier County Public Schools wants to ease your mind when it comes to protecting your kids. Safety glasses are now optional, and a lunch will not be eaten at a desk, but it will be eaten in a cafeteria or outside. Small business owners in Collier County can now get some more money to help stay in business. Today, more than $10 million will be up for grabs. It's all part of the Collier Cares Act. The deadline today is September 14th at noon. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Good Monday morning. The roadway's pretty busy this morning as we're heading back to school today. There is a crash at Palm Beach Boulevard and State Road 31. This is slowing traffic down on Palm Beach Boulevard for about a half mile. If you're heading east towards Buckingham Road, maybe heading out towards Riverdale High School, think about taking Orange River. It's up to speed. The Trip to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Back to school for the kids, and today we're looking at more heat, more humidity. At least for a portion of the day, we will see a chance for some scattered rain and storms. Initially, we'd start along the coastline, then push inland as we go throughout the day. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the 90s with our heat index over 100. More scattered rain and storms for the rest of the work week, the weekend, and all the way towards Labor Day as it gets even hotter with temps in the lower to middle 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour. When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Why? Why pay more for a used car or truck when Galliana Kia in Fort Myers can sell you a new car for less? 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
At Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 monthly, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 roadside plus tax title dealer acquisition. Zero security deposit with lender approval expires Month 10.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
Listen up, men. I know you don't want to talk about ED. It's not going to go away, so stop ignoring it. Good news for all of us. Metro Men's Health makes getting the treatment you need easy, pain-free, drug-free, and affordable. While many places use pills or injections to treat ED, that's just a temporary fix and ruins that special moment. And while testosterone treatments can boost your energy, they don't fix ED. Metro Men's Health takes a different approach. They use the most state-of-the-art technologies and treatments that improves blood flow, which is really the source of the problem. There's no discomfort, and Metro Men's Health treatments don't just mask symptoms. They treat the condition. No painful shots, no hormones, no pills, just an easy and convenient treatment that actually works. If you don't see improvement, they'll give you a full refund. You've got nothing to lose and a lot to gain. Put that spark back in your life. Call 239-599-9900 to schedule a free consultation. That's 239-599-9900 or visit metromenshealth.com. Metro Men's Health.
Hello, Southwest Florida. I'm Anthony with the American Tradesman Show, and my guest, Gerald Prevet from B&K Water Extraction and Mold Services, and his brother, Brian Prevet from Prevet Plumbing, and my partner, Juan Silva from American Electrical. Join us each week, Saturday mornings between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m., where we talk about something new in the construction field, educating you on anything with the new codes, new requirements, and also the materials and the products that we use on these shows. So we look forward to you listening to our show. God bless America and Semper Fi. Hoorah!
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. If you want to call or text, streaming live on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. That's what helps to keep us going on both YouTube and Facebook. And all you need to do is go to YouTube and type in Drew Steele. Radio Steele has 3 E's, Steele, and then subscribe, and we do appreciate it. I'm looking at the Farmer's Almanac has their extended forecast for winter 2020 and 2021. You interested, Jake? I know. Do you have friends and family that maybe live up north? Do you know anybody that lives in the wilds of anything north of Ocala? Anybody?
Yeah, I do actually.
You do? Okay. Well,
Tallahassee.
Yeah, Tallahassee doesn't count. I mean, let's be honest. Well, no, I mean, you know that the South is going to be, it says chilly and showery. So that's what we're going to have. But if you live or you know somebody who lives in the most northern areas, you know, if you're somebody who lives in the areas of Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, North and South Dakota, Montana, just get ready because it's going to be above normal snowfall and cold and long range forecasts. I'm laughing because I'm bringing this up right now, and it's not even September yet. Already they're talking about the Farmer's Almanac, and you better be ready for the winter hitting like never before. Isn't it always like that? Does anybody even remember a time or a year where there was a Farmer's Almanac? Some guy in Provo, Utah, sitting on his front porch who can predict the weather, or somebody saying, "No, it's going to be good." Like it's going to be. Is it ever good? Do you ever hear it? It's always, every year is always the worst. It's the worst for the hurricane season. It's the worst for the winter season. It's the worst. It's always the worst. You never hear things like, no, they're better than usual. Everything's going to be pretty good. I can't think of any time where it wasn't. And I will say this. before we move on to a couple of different stories and your calls and texts on the president and the rioting happening in Democrat-led cities like Portland, where the mayor is just defiant against the president while his city burns. It's disgusting what's going on, but we'll get to that in a second. Is that we do need to keep in our thoughts and prayers those living in areas of Louisiana where they were affected by Hurricane Laura. And the talk is that there are some areas of the electrical grid that will take weeks to get back up and running. The damage there certainly is going to be felt. And always the concern of people here, even in Southwest Florida. How many times have you said to somebody, can you imagine in this world of Rona if we were to have to deal with all the things we deal with on masking and social distancing and everything else, and then have to somehow we get hit with a hurricane, what that would be like. And so in that way, you can feel for the people of Louisiana and should be praying for them each and every day, and to hope and pray for that speedy recovery in the area after the hurricane goes through. Or has gone through. Some of the other areas that we're looking at in Portland, and after that fatal shooting in Portland over the weekend, and a protester that was killed in Portland, we heard about, and you probably heard about and saw the video of the attack posted online of what appears to be a targeted shooting. Many people talking about this. And I don't want to play the audio because it's disturbing. Midnight. When was that? On Saturday? It was Friday midnight, where Portland's downtown area, there were gunshots, a couple of shots that soon we saw the videos and images that someone was murdered there. Someone reportedly was associated with Patriot Prayer as a Portland-based activist group. You had Trump supporters making their way in a caravan through Portland, even in areas of California. And the video, hearing people saying, we've got them. Hey, we got a couple right here. We got a couple right here, meaning Trump supporters. And then you hear the shots ring out. It was horrifying. And again, how many times have we said that these situations and what is happening in these cities like Portland and what is going on even after the officer-involved shooting in Kenosha and the rioting that's happening on the streets, and no one in these Democrat-led cities is willing to go in and stop all of this from happening. And what could have been if it was stopped? What could have been if areas in these cities were pushed back upon by law enforcement? Those that we're told are the peaceful protesters, but we know the truth. And how all of a sudden, magically, we have people like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden putting out statements and finally saying things like, I joined, here's Kamala Harris, I joined Joe Biden in condemning this violence. This cannot and must not be who we are. Americans deserve a president who will heal our country and bring people together, not fan the flames of hate and division. That was the narrative in the over the weekend. In case you were wondering, it's President Trump's fault. He's the one that's been fanning the flames of hate and division in this country, which it's so sad. It would be laughable if it wasn't so sad, because of the way this president has been treated since day one by the same people who just before he announced he was going to run for president had him in their videos, would do anything they could to have him on their TV shows. You see the hypocrisy. You already know about it. Joe Biden putting out a tweet over the weekend. The deadly violence we saw overnight in Portland is unacceptable. Shooting in the streets of a great American city is unacceptable. I condemn violence of every kind by anyone, whether on the left or the right. And I challenge Donald Trump to do the same. You know, you could have just said that you condemn violence of any kind and just left it at that. But you had to throw in the left or the right. You see how that works. Because the ones that are rioting right now and doing the damage are not on the right. And you know it. He knows it. Kamala Harris knows it. Everybody knows it. They know who the people are that are doing this, and yet they're trying to make this general assessment that, you know, it could be anybody. No. And what about the mayor of Portland? And what did he say? President was slamming the do-nothing Democrat mayor of Portland. Ted Wheeler, the wacky, radical left do-nothing Democrat mayor of Portland, who has watched great death and destruction of his city during his tenure, thinks this lawless situation should go on forever. Wrong. Portland will never recover with a fool of a mayor. He tried mixing with the agitators and anarchists, and they mocked him. Remember that? He walked through, and they were screaming and yelling at him to the point where he had to get out of there, thinking that he was one of them, only to discover that anarchists don't care about you, whether you're a Republican or Democrat. They're for anarchy. But yet he still tries to make it seem like he's one of them and vice versa. Anyway, president said he would like to blame me and the federal government for going in, but he hasn't seen anything yet. We've only been there with a small group to defend our U.S. courthouse because he couldn't do it. People in Portland, like all the cities and parts of our great country, want law and order. And look, the Democrats realize that more than ever, that unfortunately for the left in this country, for Democrats, for the media, the question isn't whether you care about law and order or whether you care about the lives of citizens in these cities that we are seeing on display each and every day, that there is great risk to be in these situations. No. It's about licking your finger and throwing it up to the wind to see whether or not the poll numbers look good. And once you start to see that the polls are looking bad, then all of a sudden you need to change. And I'm not being hyperbolic. It's true. It's exactly what they're doing. And what about some of what the mayor of the city of Portland said? And I want you to listen to the way he was describing the president of the United States, who offered federal aid to help to stop the rioting and the looting and destruction in the city of Portland. He refused it. And then what did he do? Well, he did what any left Democrat would do. Here you go. You ready? Let's give a little audio here of the mayor of Portland, Ted Wheeler.
We've read your tweets slamming private citizens to the point of receiving death threats, and we've listened to your attacks on immigrants. We've listened to you label Mexicans rapists.
Okay. Are we done? That's it, right? That's it. I'm out. Do you see the nonsense? Do you see the lies already out of the gate? When the mayor of the city of Portland, Ted Wheeler, starts, or in his public statement about refusing federal aid, goes there, that's it, right? You don't have to listen to anything else. Nobody goes on.
And now you're attacking Democratic mayors and the very institutions of democracy that have served this nation well since its founding.
Yeah, the problem is that you're one of the Democrat mayors in these Democrat cities that continue to see the rioting and the violence and the looting that's happening, and you know it, but yet you do not want to recognize it because, well, it's you.
Do you seriously wonder, Mr. President, why this is the first time in decades that America has seen this level of violence?
There have been some, okay, you know the answer, right? You know what's coming. It's Trump's fault.
It's you.
Could have told you. Sorry, it's really not fun. It kind of is funny because it's so predictable.
Who have created the hate and the division.
Yeah.
It's you who have not found a way to say the names of black people killed by police officers, even as people in law enforcement have. And it's you who claimed that white supremacists are good people.
Now, there's a lot to dig into there, but stop it right at the end. Again, the mayor of Portland, Ted Wheeler, who is throwing out all the memes, all the lies, all the distortions that have been gone over time after time, and he did not say white supremacists are good people, but they keep running with it. He keeps running with it, even when people know that's not what the president said. And we talked about it last week because the vice president brought it up last week. The former vice president, Joe Biden, excuse me. They can't help themselves. They keep it going because it works for them and their followers. But the other question in there remains, and maybe we'll talk about it more in depth next hour if you would like. There's so much out there that we've got to get to. But with all the politics that are out there with Black Lives Matter and this idea of systemic racism that's in the communities and police brutality, and even in sports, anybody ever ask how do I say this? What's your answer? When LeBron James and others talk about Black Lives Matter, the movement, and we realize who they are, Black Lives Matter, the movement, and how they are Marxists, their description, not mine, and all the things that they bring up, whether it's police brutality or whether it's systemic racism, and they're not going to be satisfied until there's change. Do we get to ask what that looks like? What are you asking for? What is it? After all of this is said, and after all the death and destruction and the burning and the looting and the rioting, what's your answer? What do you want that will make all of this go away? Does anybody even stop to ask that question? And who's the person that decides that? Like, who is the leader of this charge of, here it is in paper, here I have a piece of paper right here. Here it is. Hold on a second here. Right. This is it. This is the manifesto. This is the answer. This is the document. This is the legislation. What is it? Who is the arbiter of that? Does anybody ask that? I'm asking. I mean, maybe you know. All right, 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube right now at Drew Steele Radio. And right now, as we do each and every day, 6:50 and 7:50. Maybe you're sitting there with the kiddos, you're getting ready to take them to school, and you want to play Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Let's have a little bit of fun this morning. Let's try to do that right now with caller number 5. We will play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Let's find out what's happening with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash at State Road 31 and Palm Beach Boulevard is slowing traffic east and west on Palm Beach heading to this intersection. There's also a slowdown in Fort Myers on Edison Avenue. This is heading towards Veronica Shoemaker. Keep this in mind as you're heading towards Dunbar High School. Also, traffic is congested on MLK Boulevard west to Ortiz for about a quarter mile. Slowdowns as well beginning on Colonial Boulevard. Lots of traffic heading out of Lehigh towards I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
The back-to-school forecast for you Monday includes a high temperature of 91 degrees, our heat index over 100, as we will see a chance for some passing scattered showers and storms as we go throughout the late morning and all the way into this afternoon. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Rush Limbaugh. Do you own an SUV? If so, you are to blame for the rise in CO2 emissions. According to the UK Guardian, between 2010 and 2018, SUVs were the second biggest contributors to increased carbon emissions around the world. During those years, SUVs doubled in number around the world. SUVs now make up almost 40% of the automobile market worldwide. SUVs are a big success. People love them. And that just infuriates liberals. If SUV drivers were a nation of their own, says The Guardian, they would be the 7th worst country in the world when it comes to polluting the planet and causing climate change. So protests are gearing up. In Germany, Greenpeace blocked a shipment of SUVs. At a Frankfurt Motor Show, protesters climbed on top of SUVs, and they had signs saying climate killers. But so far here in the States, there are no large-scale protests. People are not unhappy about SUVs. They're not worried about gloom and doom predictions. They're buying them. More than half of all passenger cars purchased in America are SUVs. So without question, that means that we are leading the way. We Americans are showing the rest of the world how to enjoy freedom on the roads, how to enjoy your life in style, in comfort, in SUVs. We should be proud of it. And we should tell any malcontent liberal protester, if you don't like SUVs, take a hike, start walking. Sometimes in life, it's easy to settle for good enough. But with identity theft protection, good enough isn't enough. Data breaches appear to be happening more and more, placing your data in the wrong hands, and that leads to identity theft. Now, if you're only monitoring your credit, you could miss certain threats, like somebody selling your info on the dark web. LifeLock sees a wide range of identity threats. And if you end up with an identity theft issue, a restoration specialist dedicated to your case will work to fix it. Now, look, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all the transactions at all businesses, but shouldn't you have identity theft protection that's better than just good enough? Go to lifelock.com or call them at 800-440-4833. Use my name as the promo code. That's RUSH. Save up to 25% off your first year. lifelock.com. Promo code RUSH, 25% off.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. Drew Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Drew Barrymore. I have a new daytime show premiering this fall, and we are going to explore all sorts of things together. We can share news, lift each other up, be a little naughty, cry, laugh, eat, cry again, and then laugh, and then maybe cry again or eat. Let's do this. Who's with me?
The Drew Barrymore Show, coming to daytime.
I can't hear you.
Drew Barrymore, coming soon to Wink TV Afternoons.
All right, you got an associate's.
With the mosquito as the state bird.
What's that?
I said with the mosquito as the state bird.
Do we deduct a point from him for that? No, that's okay. All right, let's see if he gets a ding. All right, let's see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. The Democrat Party first associated with what symbol after an 1870 cartoon by Thomas Nast? It is a...
I do not.
The symbol associated, when you think of the Democrats, you think of...
A jackass, a donkey?
That's correct, sir. You get a double ding for that. All right, that is your bachelor's degree question. Let's see if you get a master's degree on this question. How often do we hold U.S. House of Representatives election? How many years? Every...
2 years.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. Let's see. Who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner?
Francis Scott Key.
That is correct, sir. Look at you, the smartest man on your phone for sure. You must be impressive at parties. That is Wayne in Naples got himself a PhD today on Drew's College. I need you to stay there, Wayne, so we'll put you on hold. Jake the Millennial will talk to you about how to get your diploma in the world of Rona and all kinds of other stuff going on. So stay there. We appreciate you. Okay, Wayne?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Back at you. All right, when we come back, let's make sure that okay. When we come back, we'll talk more about Bill Maher. Bill Maher has some comments to say about his concerns for Joe Biden. He's very nervous about him, really?
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
People often ask me, how did you grow my shower door so big and so fast? But the answer is, we didn't. What we did is we took our family business, we hired great talent, trained our staff, and developed our product. Now, after 17 years, my shower door has 8 frameless shower door showrooms, with our newest in Cape Coral. If you're looking for a frameless shower door company that you can trust and research, and you want to see more, go to myShowerDoor.com.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
True relief for back and neck pain. Sitting at home with back or neck pain, lying in a recliner suffering with leg pain or weakness, out of shape from sciatica, stenosis, or neuropathy? Get relief and get your life back. Non-surgical spinal decompression. This is Dr. Johnson, DC at 596 Back. Spinal decompression is an ingenious, innovative treatment that has shattered doctors' traditional ways of treating back or neck problems. Doctors have been left scratching their heads. Finally, avoid needles, epidurals, and drugs. This treatment is also super comfortable. Patients of any age can be treated and doesn't involve any hanging upside down. It uses a relaxing, computerized table to gently remove pressure on spinal nerves and discs, relieving pain, numbness, or weakness. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for a free telephone consultation to find out how spinal decompression can help you. Johnston Spinal Care, 596 Back. 596-2225. That's 596-2225.
If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station. 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, thousands of kids head back to the classroom, and school districts, parents, and students across Southwest Florida are making sure they're ready for the first day. While some parents opted for virtual learning this year, many say they just want their kids back in the classroom eventually. Many kids will be catching the bus to class this morning. In Lee County, bus drivers are responsible for sanitizing 4 times a day in between each route. Children must also wear a mask during the entire bus ride. If a student or driver tests positive, that bus will be taken out of service for at least 3 days. And students taking part in the Lee Home Connect program can get breakfast and lunch meals starting on Tuesday. Parents, you can get 5 meals for the week. You can pick them up on Tuesdays or Thursdays from 7:15 a.m. until 8:30 a.m., depending on which school grab-and-go location you choose. No power right now at the Gateway Charter Elementary School. They say the storms we had last night caused a transformer to blow. Officials say it will likely not be repaired by the start of the school day today. They'll communicate with families this morning with the latest information on a school closure. From masks to hand sanitizers to social distancing, schools will look a lot different. Collier County Public Schools wants to ease your mind when it comes to protecting your kids. Safety glasses are now optional, and a lunch will not be eaten at a desk, but it will be eaten in a cafeteria or outside. Small business owners in Collier County can now get some more money to help stay in business. Today, more than $10 million will be up for grabs. It's all part of the Collier Cares Act. The deadline today is September 14th at noon. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at State Road 31 and Palm Beach Boulevard is slowing traffic east and west on Palm Beach heading to this intersection. There's also a slowdown in Fort Myers on Edison Avenue. This is heading towards Veronica Shoemaker. Keep this in mind as you're heading towards Dunbar High School. Also, traffic is congested on MLK Boulevard west to Ortiz for about a quarter mile. Slowdowns as well beginning on Colonial Boulevard. Lots of traffic heading out of Lehigh towards I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Back to school for the kids, and today we're looking at more heat, more humidity. At least for a portion of the day, we will see a chance for some scattered rain and storms. Initially, we'd start along the coastline, then push inland as we go throughout the day. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the 90s with our heat index over 100. More scattered rain and storms for the rest of the work week, the weekend, and all the way towards Labor Day as it gets even hotter with temps in the lower to middle 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Get a 2019 Buick Encore SUV with only 584 miles for $20,000. Practically a new car for thousands less. Or a 2004 Buick Park Avenue with only 56,000 miles. Florida condo car for $6,500. With over 300 vehicles, visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash. Retirement questions? You can bet Bob Grace probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday at noon for Retire with Grace. It's your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to help maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Join us, Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Investment advisory services offered through Grace Capital Management Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Water is life in Southwest Florida. It drives our economy from tourism to fishing to boating and quality of life. This is Adam Botana from Baywater Exclusive Boat Club, and we talk water for an hour every weekend on Fox News Radio. We feature guests on water quality, water safety, and water fun, including great boating day trips and tips on fishing. Join us this Saturday at 7 a.m. for the Baywater Exclusive Boat Club Hour with Adam Botana on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, check this out, Southwest Florida. You know that sweet trade-in deal we've been doing here at Naples Nissan? Well, it just got sweeter. If your trade-in is less than 8 years old with less than 80,000 miles on it, guess what? Naples Nissan is going to give you the original base MSRP for it. Wait, what? Yeah, so whatever that Hyundai, Kia, Toyota, Nissan, or Honda was worth 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago is exactly what it'll be worth now, but only at Naples Nissan. Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, Chevy, yep, we'll take those too. Let's see here, a brand new Nissan or that old 2012 you're driving now that needs new tires. Bluetooth, no Bluetooth. Backup camera, no backup camera. Come on, it's a no-brainer, folks. Visit NaplesNissan.com for full details or come see us on Pine Ridge Road and drive home in that brand new Nissan today. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Keeping your home and business cool is a struggle, but now you can be the insider on how it all works and how to keep it running when the heat is on. Join Matt and Justin from Island Air right here on Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. for the Island Air Hour, providing quick and effective solutions for commercial and residential air conditioning and heating systems. If you have a question about your system, you can call us right now at 239-747-1550, and we'll be glad to help. Serving Southwest Florida since 1972.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-294-3311. 800-294-3311. 800-294-3311.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on the tube, on the YouTube, as the kids don't call it. Drew Steele Radio. Steele has 3 E's. You just go into YouTube, you type in Drew Steele Radio, you'll see my face, and then you just click on that face and subscribe to the channel. It's free, and when you do that, it helps to keep us so you can watch on YouTube and on Facebook both. So we do appreciate that. Hey, just in case you're wondering, the numbers are in from the RNC, 25 million more total viewers than the DNC, but nothing to worry about there. If you're a Democrat, you're still feeling pretty good about where you stand. And I don't know how they feel.
Bowl of doggy do.
Maybe that's a little bit of how they feel. So what about that? And what does that have to do with maybe some of the things that we're starting to see taking place right now? Like, for example, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris finally commenting on the rioting and destruction and looting and deaths that are happening in Democrat-led cities like Portland, places like that, where we're starting to hear comments. Because, listen, the reason why they're doing it, everybody, is because the polling is starting to stink. And it's unfortunate that that's the way Democrats play, but that's the way they play right now, everybody. Look, from the same party who would be willing to weaponize the American government against an American citizen because of political reasons, and you get the I know. You get the distinct possibility that those same people would be throwing their finger to the wind and figuring out where it's going, and if it's blowing the wrong way by taking sides with the rioting and the protesting, and it's not working for you, we better flip it because we only have 60 some odd days or less before there is a major election in this country. And look, if you're a Democrat and you think that that's the wrong way, my view is the wrong view, I would love to hear from you today. 239-479-5592. Maybe you want to weigh in on that. Maybe you'd like to weigh in on what it is exactly that Black Lives Matter or any of these groups that are out there that are rioting, that are looting, that don't care if someone is shot on the streets of a major metropolitan city because politically they disagree with them. The language is a little worse than that, and I'll play that audio from some of the protests that happened in Portland after we had someone shot in that major and killed in that major metropolitan city. And then we're told that they don't care because they were fascists. Of course, if you ask them the definition of what a fascist is, they wouldn't be able to tell you, but that's beside the point. They don't have, and as a matter of fact, there was cheering after that. It's despicable, disgusting. I ask you, and I ask others to maybe text or call, as I brought up last hour, who is it that is going to decide what change looks like? When we hear LeBron James and people in sports, and we're told by those on the left, Democrats, that this isn't going to stop. It's not going to stop until we see change, and it shouldn't stop. Oh, and that's not my words, by the way. That was Kamala Harris. May I remind everybody, Kamala Harris on one of the late night shows, late night with one of the, they should just call them late night with one of the morons. That's what they should call it. It doesn't even make a difference who the person is. You just need to know that it was a late night show that was on one of the major networks. So we already know there's a moron that's running the show. So on one of the late night shows with the morons, Kamala Harris did make mention of that.
Clear that I know that there are protests still happening in major cities across the United States. I'm just not seeing the reporting on it that I had
that's right.
for the first few weeks.
That's right. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And they're not, this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that they're not going to let up, and they should not. And we should not.
They should not, and we should not. It shouldn't let up. That's Kamala Harris, your Democrat vice presidential nominee, who was saying the protests on the streets, i.e. the rioting on the streets, should not let up, will not let up, and we should support them. And then, of course, yesterday, once the Democrats knocked and said, hey, listen, can you do us a favor? Can it change the narrative? Because we saw some of the polling, and the polls don't look very good. They don't agree with you. Can you? Oh, okay. Wait, let me rephrase that. I join Joe Biden in condemning the violence. This cannot and must not be who we are. Americans deserve a president who will heal our country and bring people together, not fan the flames of hate and division. So it's Trump's fault that there's division and hate in the country, and that we should condemn the violence. The protesting, though, hey, we can keep going on. We can go on now until, I don't know, until somebody what? Until there is an individual who will come with some legislation or a piece of paper or their demands and explain to everyone in this country what that looks like. We got to have change. We're not going to stop until we have change. What's the change? Can you define it? Can you tell us what it is at least, so you can define why it is you're burning down major metropolitan cities? Define what that change looks like. Nobody has yet. Isn't that interesting? Because they don't have to. Doesn't matter. It's the same kind of change and hope that was talked by somebody else in the past, when you just throw it out there and then you come to find out, wait, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, Joe Biden, the deadly violence we saw overnight in Portland is unacceptable. The shooting in the streets of a great American city is unacceptable. I condemn violence of every kind by everyone, whether it's on the left or the right. Now, we didn't ask if left or right. We just asked about the violence. How about that? Do you have to define it? That's how it's interesting how Democrats do that. When you bring up a particular shooting that happens, let's say an individual shot in Portland who we're told is a right-wing extremist, someone from what was it, Patriot Party? Is that the group that they were with? Couldn't be just an individual walking in the street and then they were shot dead there in the streets of Portland. 2 shots. It has to be about something else. We have to describe it in a different way because what? We have to politically protect. Are you serious? Even Bill Maher is nervous, and that's not my words. So Bill Maher was on with Joy Reid. Was it over the weekend? And she was asking him about his thoughts on what is happening with Joe Biden as the nominee and what's going on the streets. And of course, the picking up of your finger and putting it into the wind to see which way it's blowing and figuring out quickly that the American people don't like lawlessness. Nobody likes lawlessness. So why would you support it? And when asked, here's Bill Maher.
I saw that one gentleman, I think he was the...
Oh, wait. They started by talking about the RNC. And Joy Reid was talking about what was going on during the RNC where you had... blacks, individuals speaking positively about the administration, positively about the president, positively about the direction the country was going before the pandemic. And Bill Maher says...
I saw that one gentleman, I think he was the attorney general. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, African-American gentleman, and he was pushing back on Joe Biden saying, if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. And I don't think that is a good thing for Joe Biden to have said. He said, I have my own mind. Now, I don't get what's that reasoning, but I don't get, people do have their own minds. I have never been a fan of conformity. I have never been a fan of we all wear pink on Wednesday. We all have to do this. We all have to say this. We all have to do this then. I don't bend the knee. And I get that people are pushing back on that kind of stuff. So, look, like I was just saying, I feel very nervous.
Yeah.
The same way I did 4 years ago at this time.
Same way they felt 4 years ago at this time. Getting very, very really, you're getting nervous. And the question is, why is Bill Maher and Joy Reid agreeing? Getting very nervous. Now, she didn't agree with any of the other things that Bill Maher said about not excited about taking a knee, not excited for anything or anybody, or being told that you don't have a mind if you don't, what Joe Biden said. Everybody knows what Joe Biden said. And whether or not now it's starting to be reflected in the polls. It shouldn't be something that you're concerned about, the polls. You should be concerned about Americans, everybody. You shouldn't put people in a box and say they have to vote this way or think this way or be this way. There are individuals, believe it or not, in this country who don't think that way. Then you have the whole Democrat Party and the left in this country who only thinks that way and has been that way for as long as you can remember and as long as I can remember. And it's fascinating how he brings up some of the polls. Hey, by the way, this was a little bit of fun, some fun numbers. Who likes playing the poll game? You like playing the game of let's check the polls? Let's do that. This was a great tweet that I saw last night. The Reckoning is the person who put this out on his Twitter account. He calls himself The Reckoning. And he said it was replying to a tweet out there saying, I'm old enough to remember Andrew Gillum getting elected as governor of the state of Florida. May I remind everybody that in September and October, leading right up to the election in November in 2018, I'm looking at the numbers scrolling before me. Gillum plus 12, Gillum plus 6, Gillum plus 7, Gillum plus 1, Gillum plus 2, Gillum plus 9. There were only 2 dates since September in the polling that showed DeSantis even close to winning the election. Remember Andrew Gillum? Yeah, just like Stacey Abrams in Georgia. He's the governor here in the state of Florida, but you didn't know that. Again, it comes down to a lot of different things. And let's take a break, Jake, right now. But may I remind you, number one, polls are always going to be interesting to watch, and they're going to be all over the map. And you're going to have to keep an eye on what and how they are doing the polls specifically. Some of them may be more realistic than others, likely voters as opposed to registered voters. Big difference. And then on the other side of that is how people will do things and dictate where the discussion will go based on the polling of the day, and how in some ways for Democrats it's disgusting because it does mean the difference, and I'll say it, between life and death. And as awful as that sounds, and that may sound to you to be awful and hyperbolic, and how dare you say something like that, well, is it the politics of the day in Portland and what is happening there in that city, where if they would have put down the rioting and the looting and the destruction, that maybe lives would have been saved right now, because we wouldn't have the anarchy on the streets if it weren't for the politics? I'm just asking. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, here is Sabrina Katz.
A crash at Palm Beach Boulevard and State Road 31 is causing a slowdown on Palm Beach heading east and west to 31, unfortunately, as well as a delay from a crash at Lexington and Orange River. This is to the south of Palm Beach Boulevard. Commuters heading towards Cypress Lake, we are just a touch slow heading westbound towards Winkler Road, as well as southbound delays on McGregor Boulevard towards Winkler. Heading out of the Cape, traffic is starting to slow down on that Midpoint Bridge into Fort Myers, but a nice commute over that Cape Coral Bridge. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
The back-to-school forecast for you Monday includes a high temperature of 91 degrees, our heat index over 100, as we will see a chance for some passing scattered showers and storms as we go throughout the late morning and all the way into this afternoon. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
1 hour air conditioning and heating, always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1-HOUR.
Cataract surgery is not so basic anymore. Because technology has paved the way so that patients can design their vision to meet their individual lifestyle needs. Dr. Jonathan Franz and his team of caring professionals at Franz Eye Care are bringing you state-of-the-art technology through the light adjustable lens. So what's the wow factor, you ask? Your prescription adjustments can be customized after cataract surgery through a series of non-invasive light treatments. The light adjustable lens is made of a special photosensitive material that changes the power of an implanted lens in response to UV light. Imagine that, a lens designed for the unique individual nature of your eyes. It's lights on after cataract surgery with the light adjustable lens. Call Franz Eye Care today to find out if you qualify and see your future in 2020. Dial ** 2020 from your cell phone or call 239-418-0999. That's 239-418-0999.
Dial ** 2020. Franz Eye Care.
Right now, your home is more than a home. Your home is a safe place for you and your family in a challenging time. It's more important than ever that you protect the home that protects you in a storm. The fact is, flooding can happen to anyone, anywhere. And just 1 inch of water in your home can cause over $25,000 in damage. Keep safe. Protect your home with flood insurance. For more information, contact your insurance agent or visit floodsmart.gov/home.
Home is truly where the heart is. To protect it, you need top-quality roofing installed by experts. That's why we chose CFS Roofing Services. Now my home's weather-tight and beautifully resilient.
New roof leak from old Hurricane Irma damage? Insurance claim deadline is September 9th. Call CFS now for a free roof analysis. 561-2600 or cfsroofing.com. I'm David Crowther, and I approve this message.
Hi, this is Kirk Cameron from My Faith Votes. This fall, Americans are faced with what may be the most important election in decades, maybe ever. If we as Christians stay home and don't vote this November, our children's future is at terrible risk. The consequences will be to unfairly shift this country's massive burdens to our children and grandchildren. Each of us can do something to make a difference. We can vote. Make the pledge to vote. Visit myfaithvotes.org today. That's myfaithvotes.org.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. Do the math. Taking care of your pool is probably not a good use of your time and money. Free $50 Bonefish gift certificates when you sign up for one of our award-winning weekly service plans. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
This is an important message for all current and former Boy Scouts.
The Boy Scouts of America has declared bankruptcy.
If you were sexually abused in scouting, you could receive compensation, but you must file a claim by November 16, 2020.
You may file a sexual abuse claim regardless of your current age or the year the sexual abuse occurred.
Visit officialbsaclaims.com or call 1-866-907-2721.
Paid for by the Boy Scouts of America.
When you're stressed, you just don't feel like yourself. New Natrol Relaxia, a full line of drug-free supplements to help you manage occasional stress and anxiety. A special blend of herbals keeps you feeling calm and balanced throughout the day. Because when there's less stress, there's more you. Try new Natrol Relaxia. Learn more at relaxiamood.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Summer clearance event going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. All new Jeep Gladiator Overland lease, $399 per month. Loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee limited lease, $329 per month. New Ram Bighorn Crew Cab lease, $319 per month. That's right, award-winning Ram trucks, $319 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Summer clearance event featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs for $319 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 42 monthly, says 10,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax, tag title, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR with 0 down with lender approval. Offers don't combine.
Southwest Florida is our home, and there's a lot to love. Our community gatherings, our sporting events, our quality health care and education, and our natural resources, just to name a few. It's why we call Southwest Florida our home, and it's why we love living here. As residents of Southwest Florida, we're strong, compassionate, and capable. Let's protect what and who we love by following CDC guidelines. Together, we can protect our home and each other. For more information about CDC guidelines, visit legov.com/COVID-19.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
I'm Chris Broussard. The White House denies a request for President Trump to cancel a trip to Kenosha, Wisconsin tomorrow to meet with law enforcement and see damage from vandalism during protests over a police shooting.
The governor, Tony Evers, is asking the president not to come to Wisconsin, writing, I, along with other community leaders who have reached out, are concerned about what your presence will mean for Kenosha and our state. I am concerned your presence will only hinder our healing. I am concerned your presence will only delay our work to overcome division and move forward together.
Fox's Griff Jenkins in Washington. White House advisor Jared Kushner is on the first ever direct Israeli airline flight to the United Arab Emirates.
This El Al plane has now been painted with the word peace in Hebrew, Arabic, and English. The purpose of this flight is to mark the Israel-UAE peace deal that was brokered by President Trump after a failed attempt at a peace deal between the Israelis and the Palestinians.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv, Israel. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Stadium Dry Cleaners. Online at stadiumdrycleaners.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, thousands of kids head back to the classroom, and school districts, parents, and students across Southwest Florida are making sure they're ready for the first day. While some parents opted for virtual learning this year, many say they just want their kids back in the classroom eventually. Many kids will be catching the bus to class this morning. In Lee County, bus drivers are responsible for sanitizing 4 times a day in between each route. Children must also wear a mask during the entire bus ride. If a student or driver tests positive, that bus will be taken out of service for at least 3 days. And students taking part in the Lee Home Connect program can get breakfast and lunch meals starting on Tuesday. Parents, you can get 5 meals for the week. You can pick them up on Tuesdays or Thursdays from 7:15 a.m. until 8:30 a.m., depending on which school grab-and-go location you choose. No power right now at the Gateway Charter Elementary School. They say the storms we had last night caused a transformer to blow. Officials say it will likely not be repaired by the start of the school day today. They'll communicate with families this morning with the latest information on a school closure. From masks to hand sanitizers to social distancing, schools will look a lot different. Collier County Public Schools wants to ease your mind when it comes to protecting your kids. Safety glasses are now optional, and a lunch will not be eaten at a desk, but it will be eaten in a cafeteria or outside. Small business owners in Collier County can now get some more money to help stay in business. Today, more than $10 million will be up for grabs. It's all part of the Collier Cares Act. The deadline today is September 14th at noon. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
A crash at Palm Beach Boulevard and State Road 31 is causing a slowdown on Palm Beach heading east and west to 31. Unfortunately, as well as a delay from a crash at Lexington and Orange River. This is to the south of Palm Beach Boulevard. Commuters heading towards Cypress Lake, we are just a touch slow heading westbound towards Winkler Road, as well as southbound delays on McGregor Boulevard towards Winkler. Heading out of the Cape, traffic is starting to slow down on that Midpoint Bridge into Fort Myers, but a nice commute over that Cape Coral Bridge. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Back to school for the kids, and today we're looking at more heat, more humidity. At least for a portion of the day, we will see a chance for some scattered rain and storms. Initially, we would start along the coastline, then push inland as we go throughout the day. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the 90s with our heat index over 100. More scattered rain and storms for the rest of the work week, the weekend, and all the way towards Labor Day as it gets even hotter with temps in the lower to middle 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Thrust all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and yes, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. I love these guys. I love the company. I can tell you personally, I've used them multiple times over 7 or 8 years. A company that's been in Southwest Florida since 2001. The great staff, the way they communicate, every idea that my wife had that she wanted to do with regard to painting and contracting, boom, just like that, they were on it. So what can they handle? How about anything to do with restoration or repair? Coatings, like the coating in my garage is amazing. They do over 700 clients annually. You don't have to take my word for it. They're one of the highest reviewed contractors for what they do, maintaining 4.9 to 5 stars, and I can see why. So you're thinking about a repaint, you're thinking about your garage floor, you're thinking about some remodeling. I'm telling you, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. So give them a call today, 239-872-2559. That's 239-872-2559. See the experience that I have had with Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting, and you will say it as well. They are the best.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Drew Barrymore. A lot has changed this year, and that's why I want to do more when our new daytime show premieres. More meaningful stories, more laughs, more inspiration, more. Like Drew Barrymore. Get it? Drew Barrymore.
The Drew Barrymore Show, coming to daytime.
It's got my name on it, but it's all about you.
Drew Barrymore, coming soon to Wink TV Afternoons.
So I gotta ask, what's stopping you? If you're one of the millions of men over the age of 50 who suffer from some form of erectile dysfunction, don't you want some solutions? Metro Men's Health offers a proven treatment program with over 85% of its clients reporting success. So are you afraid of pain, downtime, or surgery? Metro Men's Health offers no pain, no needles, no pills, no surgery, and no downtime. Instead, Metro Men's Health offers what's called focused linear compression therapy. It's a proven therapy that opens up and revitalizes your blood vessels for better blood flow. It's that simple. And since the staff is professional and understanding, there's no need for embarrassment either. So I have to ask you again, what's stopping you? Call Metro Men's Health today. Get your questions answered, meet with the doctor, understand the process, and get started. Call 239-599-9900 or go to metromenshealth.com. That's 239-599-9900 or metromenshealth.com. Metro Men's Health can help.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The talk and text lines streaming live on the YouTubes at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel while you're there. Don't forget, in just about 10 more minutes, we do it each and every morning at 6:50 and 7:50. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD, and we'll have a little bit of fun coming up. Little Florida news. Did you know that there's a Florida Climate and Defense Initiative out there? A day of action tomorrow. We're going to get to that. What does that mean, and why do you care? I'll explain in just a second. Also, the Utes of America getting back to school. We knew it would happen sooner or later. And maybe you or somebody you know has a child getting ready to go back to school. So it's an exciting day back to school. Jake the Millennial, your first day of school, back to school. Do you remember what was the first thing you were thinking of when you went back to school? I mean, pre-COVID, not now, but What were your memories of your first day of school going back? Do you have any fond memories? Nothing?
That was about it.
You bringing a lunchbox?
No, like when is lunch? Like
when your first reaction was when is lunch?
Probably, yeah.
Is that because you were hungry or because you just wanted to get to that point of the day because you were trying to avoid the teaching aspect of it? The learning. Yeah. All right. I remember, do you remember your lunchbox? That seems to be a big thing. When I was a kid, everybody had a lunchbox. I don't know. You don't do that now, right? The kids, the youths of America now, like you're in Trump County or Collier County, you're going back to school. You're not carrying a lunchbox necessarily. It's like a pack. It's like a cooler kind of thing, right? Nobody has lunchboxes anymore. Did you have a lunchbox?
Yeah, what's it called? Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles, nice. All right, that's good. I remember I think my first. Oh boy, do I even want to say this? All right, I have to debate. I think my first lunchbox was the Partridge Family. Yeah, I said it. For anyone who knows about the Partridge Family, you might want to relay that to your kids right now and try to explain that one. The Partridge Family. And my sister had a Bozo the Clown lunchbox. You might want to also try to explain that. Are you Googling right now, Jake? I hear you silent, so I'm assuming right now you're Googling Partridge Family and Bozo the Clown. Is that...
Well, I know Bozo the Clown, but Partridge Family, I'm Googling.
You got to work on that one. Okay. Is everybody, right? You all had one. See, Jason in Cape Coral says he had a Scooby-Doo lunchbox. So, yeah, that's right. Somebody said their first lunchbox was Gunsmoke. Wow, look that one up, Jake. A Gunsmoke lunchbox. Man. A Gunsmoke lunchbox. I'm trying to think of how long ago that would have been. So, did that come with a kit with two sticks that you can scratch together and it would make fire? Is that a... I'm just kidding. That was so rude. I'm so sorry. That wasn't really... All right, somebody had a Star Wars on one side and... one side was ground down from riding it down the hill in the snow to the bus stop. Oh, no. Man, you know how much a Star Wars lunchbox, an original Star Wars lunchbox has to be worth right now? HR Puffin stuff. HR Puffin stuff. Where'd you go when things get rough? Man, are we going back? Okay. How did I know that? That's really weird. I had that in my head. $6 Million Man lunchbox. 2 of them. 3 of them. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Jake, what is this? 4 people had a $6 Million Man lunchbox. That's pretty impressive. JC in Naples, the first lunchbox was Dukes of Hazzard. You can't have that anymore. Oh, no. No, that would be bad. My buddy Chris said he had a brown paper bag. Well, yeah, I'll tell you something about the brown paper bag for lunch. And let me just mention this. The cool kids had brown paper bags for lunch because they didn't want to conform. They just wanted to be cool because everybody else had a lunchbox. And it wasn't because they couldn't have one. And it wasn't because because they just wanted to be different. Chris in the Cape had a G.I. Joe lunchbox. I bet you that was worth something. Pete in Cape Coral had a Hopalong Cassidy. Look that one up, Jake. And Addams Family, Superman. See that? You remember certain things in your life. And for all the youths that are going back to school today in Trump County and other places across Southwest Florida and the state, I just want to remind you that there are things that will stick with you for the rest of your life. It's the first movie you ever saw in a theater, your first lunchbox that you had, and there's something else probably. I'm not really sure about that. Those are the 2 things that come to mind. Somebody had Rainbow Bright and Popples. I don't know what a popple is. And somebody had a Howdy Doody. Whoo! Look that one up, Jake. That is worth, and you'd be surprised that somebody had, I don't know if it was Oprah or somebody way back in the day had, or maybe it was like Antique Roadshow, where they would bring the lunch boxes there, and you come to find out that the lunch boxes are worth like $250,000. It's like you hit the jackpot, and man, I felt so bad. I would have taken better care of it if I would have known that 30 years later the thing is worth $500,000 or whatever it is. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little, just a little. 239-479-5592. Drew's College coming up in about 5 more minutes, so be ready for that. All right, a couple of things that are happening here in the state. Look at this. Democrats running for the Florida legislature are amplifying an environmental message starting tomorrow. The Florida Climate and Defense Initiative held a day of action championed by young progressives. It's our generation who will be the most affected by climate change, said a Democrat running in the House district and the initiative's chief architect, Rock Abujade. I can't say his last name, and forgive me if I said it wrong. 40 candidates for Congress, Senate, or House signed on to boost the climate agenda. Now, I bring this up in the state of Florida for a couple of reasons. The Florida Climate and Defense Initiative. Democrats, young progressives are pushing this. What difference does it make? Why do you care? Here's why you care. Because they want a new wave of legislators listening to scientists. 3 major steps the legislature must take. You ready? The first is the creation of scientist-led task forces studying resiliency, adaptability, and the formation of a carbon-negative Florida. Carbon-negative Florida. Sounds like a congressman that we all know that brought that up negatively as a Republican and supposedly as a conservative. I bring this up because they're likening it to a Florida Green New Deal. Starting tomorrow, they're going to have a day of action, and they're going to push for this. And here's what I would like you to be aware of and keep an eye on. Democrats, young progressives, pushing for a Florida Climate and Defense Initiative, telling us that the sea levels are rising. And, listen, the flooding that's going on in Naples that happens all the time that we always see in the area of 9th Street South, Fifth Avenue, maybe not Fifth Avenue, but, Old Naples, that area. Listen, it can't have anything to do with anything that has to do with public works or anything like that. It doesn't have anything to do with some of the work that may need to be done. It's sea level rises is what it is, everybody. It's just the ocean's just coming right over the top there and just flooding our streets. And it's something that you can calculate and measure and see that's happening. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that all of South Florida is like built on a swamp or anything like that. And now, I'm getting too crazy now. No, but the point is that there are going to be progressives in this state that are going to push for this Florida Climate and Defense Initiative. And I would like to know how many environmentalists that are getting money, $600+ million from our governor. I would like to know how many environmentalists, the people that are for clean water, all of them. You know the names. I want to know what they think about this. Would they support it? Would they support a Florida Climate and Defense Initiative? Because if they do, they're getting a whole lot of tax dollars to do all kinds of things to make sure our water is A-OK. And oh, by the way, they might want to use some of that to help to push this initiative by progressives and Democrats. And I wonder who you think they would support in the long term here in the state of Florida. If, let's say, 2022 rolls around and we have to make a decision on the governor and who the Democrat's going to be that's running, I wonder who they would support. Because do you see ipso facto changeo? You get it. I want to know all of these things. Because where some people might ignore it and not want to talk about it, I'm for clean water just like everybody else is. I want to take care and be good stewards of this planet that God has us being a steward of, that we are here on this planet. I care about it just as much as you do. But I also care about the politics and the politics at play. And I'm just asking. I just want to know. That's all. Pretty simple. Keeping an eye on that. Can't wait. We're going to be carbon negative in the state of Florida. How are we going to do that? Oh, they're talking about high-speed rail. You know, like California. That's what we need. We need high-speed rail. Okay. Oh, man. Look, you know the names. You know the people. You know who they are. Just keep an eye on it. That's all. Because it's your money. It's your money. It's not their money. It's your money. And we just want to make sure that they're good stewards of our tax dollars. That's all. All right, coming up, what else are we going to talk about? Oh, well, you know, the president and how all the ills in the country are all the president's fault, if you listen to Democrats, especially the mayor of the city of Portland, who is completely off the rails, and I wonder how much Democrats recognize that. Adam Schiff is back in the news again, and it's Russians, everybody, the Russians. It's like a bad Brady Bunch episode. It's Russia. Or was that Marsha? I don't know. I don't even know if did Marsha even like Russians. Who knows? Maybe secretly Marsha liked Russians, and that's really weird. All right, so we're going to get to some of that audio coming up in just a few more minutes, and how Democrats have decided now that the politics, the polling, and the winds of change are not happening when it comes to Antifa, Black Lives Matter, and the repeated violence that is happening over the summer. And now all of a sudden, hey, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have something to say about this. He's sort of, kind of toes in, not both feet in, but kind of maybe a half a foot in into the water. We just kind of dip in because we don't want to go all the way in because... well, you know why. What am I talking about? We'll have that coming up. All right, let's do this right now. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD right now. You caller number 5. Why not call? It's fun. It's fun for the entire family, even for the Utes that are heading back to school there in Trump County or wherever you are in Southwest Florida, heading back safely to school. All right, caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. We'll take your calls right now. Coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along, here's traffic with Sabrina Katz.
A crash on the interstate at mile marker 116 traveling southbound. Vehicle on its side with smoke just billowing out of it. As of right now, it is slowing traffic for about a half mile heading south to Bonita Beach Road from Corkscrew. So if you want the faster alternate, stick to Three Oaks or US 41. Also, a crash at Lexington and Orange River still causing a delay on Palm Beach Boulevard. Onlooking slowdown heading eastbound towards I-75, as well as a slammed Midpoint Bridge into Fort Myers. Traffic also congested in the Cape southbound on Skyline heading to Cape Parkway. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
The back-to-school forecast for you Monday includes a high temperature of 91 degrees, our heat index over 100, as we will see a chance for some passing scattered showers and storms as we go throughout the late morning and all the way into this afternoon. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News. News and smart views.
That's what sleeping with a CPAP sounds like. If you can't use CPAP, imagine pressing a button and it sounding like this. That's sleeping with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you have sleep apnea, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Some people say bigger is better. When it comes to buying a home, a TV, or an ice cream sundae, wouldn't you rather go big? Insurance companies think that because they're bigger, they can pay injured people less than what they really deserve. But guess what? We're big too. As America's largest personal injury firm, we know that our size matters. If you're going up against a big insurance company, you need a big firm fighting for you. If we win big, you win big.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Retirement questions? You can bet Bob Grace probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday at noon for Retire with Grace. It's your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to help maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Join us, Retire with Grace with Bob Grace, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Investment advisory services offered through Grace Capital Management Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Now more than ever, it's essential to have a primary care provider ready to care for you. Book your first appointment through Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, and get established with a care team who'll be there for you wherever and whenever you need. Primary and specialty care, walk-in centers, lab services, imaging centers, and COVID-19 evaluation and testing. Connect with Millennium Physician Group today and be ready for tomorrow. 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
Hey, this is Papa reporting that a lady recently complained that she did not like my commercial about the guy spitting chewing tobacco. She said that sound made her sick. I asked her what she thought about my commercial of Bart the Donkey, and she went. Either way, a special thanks to over 4,000 wonderful people who did respond to Papa's wacky commercials and making this past year our biggest, most profitable year in over 30 years. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Kerry, and Cody, we invite you to call Papa for our free tile roof inspection. If we find needed repairs, we'll do our best to make it affordable. Let us show you how we can clean and seal your tile roof, pavers, and pool decks the eco-friendly way, and it's cleaner, safer, and lasts longer. We promise to keep the donkey off your roof. Call me, Papa, for our free tile roof inspection. 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7.
License number CCC 1331790.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to David. David is in beautiful Naples. Hello there, David.
Oh, hey, Drew. How's it going?
Oh, hey, didn't see you standing there. Hey, it's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Are you ready to go, David?
I'm ready, buddy.
All right, your associate's degree question starts right now. First of all, David, can you name our 2 United States senators here in the state of Florida? Those 2 senators are...
Rick Scott and Bill Nelson.
No, it's actually Rick Scott and Marco Rubio. Rick Scott and Marco Rubio.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, no, yeah, he knew that. Jake, can we give him the buzz?
It's too early, man. Okay, go ahead.
It's too early. All right, how about this one? Nancy Pelosi is a representative from what state? Also home of the Singing Raisins.
California.
That is correct, sir. Was it the Singing Raisins part, or you knew that all along?
No, but yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
I could have figured that one out. Yeah,
that's true. All right, you got it. Yeah, you could have figured that one out just by her in your politics. Okay, associate's degree. We'll see if you get a bachelor's on this question. True or false? Donald Trump is a member of the WWE Wrestling Hall of Fame.
That's a question? You like yes or no?
Yeah, it's a true or false. True or false? He's a member of the WWE Hall of Fame Wrestling.
True.
That is true. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2013. That is correct, sir. All right, you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. Remember George H.W. Bush? Remember in 1990 he was president of the United States? Do you remember that? From 88 to 92, remember?
I do.
You do. Do you remember who the vice president was?
You say potato, I say potato. That would have been Dan Quayle.
Yeah, that is correct, sir. Man, what a shame. That is the rest of his life. That's what we get. That's what he gets. Not what we get, but he gets. Anyway, hey, congratulations. You came back strong there. See that? You got your master's degree on Drew's College today, and you'll have a diploma to prove as much to anybody that you're willing to show it to. So why don't you stay right where you are, and you'll get to talk to Jake, and he'll explain how you'll get that diploma in the world of Rona and so much more. All right, my friend?
Thanks, man.
Back at you. Stay right there. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the presidents, and, he's bad. He's awful. Just ask the mayor of the city of Portland. Sorry, I can't even say that with a straight face. All right, the audio coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. But even in, I'm going to say it, unprecedented times, don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward. Help your business to bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business, starting at $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 10/21/2020. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, installation, taxes, and fees extra. Subject to change.
Hi, this is Dr. Ben Carson for My Faith Votes. What better way to influence our culture than by voting for leaders who will support biblical principles and protect our religious freedom? Fellow believers, in November, do not abandon your civic duty as a Christian to cast your vote. When making your decision on whom to vote for, I urge you to look carefully at the platforms of each candidate and put them up against the Bible. For more information on candidates and their positions, visit myfaithvotes.org today.
What's trending?
The world is watching.
Our message, our focus, the issues that matter.
2020, climate change.
Information.
Every day.
92.5 Fox News.
Right all along. 92.5 Fox News.
Right all along. 92.5 Fox News.
Right all along.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by CFS Roofing. Online at cfsroofing.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, thousands of kids head back to the classroom, and school districts, parents, and students across Southwest Florida are making sure they're ready for the first day. While some parents opted for virtual learning this year, many say they just want their kids back in the classroom eventually. Many kids will be catching the bus to class this morning. In Lee County, bus drivers are responsible for sanitizing 4 times a day in between each route. Children must also wear a mask during the entire bus ride. If a student or driver tests positive, that bus will be taken out of service for at least 3 days. And students taking part in the Lee Home Connect program can get breakfast and lunch meals starting on Tuesday. Parents, you can get 5 meals for the week. You can pick them up on Tuesdays or Thursdays from 7:15 a.m. until 8:30 a.m., depending on which school grab-and-go location you choose. No power right now at the Gateway Charter Elementary School. They say the storms we had last night caused a transformer to blow. Officials say it will likely not be repaired by the start of the school day today. They'll communicate with families this morning with the latest information on a school closure. From masks to hand sanitizers to social distancing, schools will look a lot different. Collier County Public Schools wants to ease your mind when it comes to protecting your kids. Safety glasses are now optional, and a lunch will not be eaten at a desk, but it will be eaten in a cafeteria or outside. Small business owners in Collier County can now get some more money to help stay in business. Today, more than $10 million will be up for grabs. It's all part of the Collier Cares Act. The deadline today is September 14th at noon. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
A crash on the interstate at mile marker 116 traveling southbound. Vehicle on its side with smoke just billowing out of it as of right now. It is slowing traffic for about a half mile heading south to Bonita Beach Road from Corkscrew. So if you want the faster alternate, stick to 3 Oaks or US 41. Also a crash at Lexington and Orange River still causing a delay on Palm Beach Boulevard. Onlooking slowdown heading eastbound towards I-75, as well as a slammed Midpoint Bridge into Fort Myers. Traffic also congested in the Cape southbound on Skyline heading to Cape Parkway. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Back to school for the kids, and today we're looking at more heat, more humidity. At least for a portion of the day, we will see a chance for some scattered rain and storms. Initially, we would start along the coastline, then push inland as we go throughout the day. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the 90s with our heat index over 100. More scattered rain and storms for the rest of the work week, the weekend, and all the way towards Labor Day as it gets even hotter with temps in the lower to middle 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Steele. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Looking for a frameless shower door? My Shower Door has just opened their 8th Florida showroom, and it's conveniently located in Cape Coral. With more than 75,000 frameless shower doors installed, no one has more experience and 5-star reviews than My Shower Door. We've been named #1 by readers of the News Press and Naples News for 17 consecutive years and have just been named as Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
You probably know Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Dre Sites, and Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
It's Justin with Powerhouse. With all the craziness in the world today, the last thing you want to be concerned with is your home's safety during hurricane season. Here at Powerhouse, we've empowered thousands of customers with peace of mind knowing their home is safe when Mother Nature knocks on their door. Our goal is to empower all of Southwest Florida with that same comfort. That is why we're offering a $250 off coupon on our storm protection package. When it comes to home generators, when it comes to electrical service, nobody does more than us. Visit us today at powerhouseswfl.com. That's powerhouseswfl.com.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-294-3311. 800-294-3311. 800-294-3311.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us today. It is Drew Steele, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We are always streaming live on YouTube. As long as you subscribe, it keeps us going. Subscriptions are free. You just go there, type in Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, Steele. Sometimes I have to tell people. Understandable. And then subscribe to the channel. And that'll keep us going on both YouTube and Facebook. Trump County Schools going back today. How you all feeling about that? Maybe you want to call and comment about your thoughts today on the youths of America getting back to school. Your thoughts, maybe the kids, what they're thinking, what you are personally thinking, and in Trump County, they're getting back to it. Of course, there is some coronavirus news that is out there for those that don't realize it. 2 stories that should put your mind at ease and then trouble you both at the same time. How does that even happen? How could you hear coronavirus news and be both comforted and troubled at the same time? Well, I'll tell you right now. And I might even use Jake, our own millennial, as the example of how that works. and how he feels as I tell the story. Jake, are you ready to be the millennial slash what's the word I'm looking for? Ombudsman. Are you ready for that?
Millennial correspondent ready.
Okay, here we go. So we come to find out, and I noticed through many of my social media outlets that I am on, including Parler, by the way. I hope you're on Parler. You should be, as I am there as well. Drew Steele Radio. You can find me easily on Parler. Would love for you to follow there. That many people were talking about the CDC and new data that has changed. Wait. How do you change CDC data? What does that even mean? Well, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the website disclosed the shockingly small number of people who died from only the Wuhan coronavirus with no other cause of death mentioned. This was a writing by Bronson Stocking breaking down the CDC data, and I was getting this story from American Thinker. Seems that the Wuhan virus's risks have been grossly exaggerated. Hold on to your hat, because here it is. Out of these 161,392 deaths in the CDC data, just 6%, about 9,700 deaths, were attributed to the coronavirus alone. According to the CDC, the other 94% had an average of 2.6 additional conditions or causes of death, such as heart disease, diabetes, and sepsis. Hold on, there's more. Instead of protecting the vulnerable, the elderly in nursing homes and those with comorbidities, you know, what we should have been doing in places like New York City. Oh, they did that in New York, right? The governor, Cuomo, he did. Scratch that second part. Okay. Health experts, quote unquote, recommended locking everyone up and prescribing for Americans a wide range of ailments such as depression, suicide, missed early cancer screenings, unemployment, substance abuse, and poverty. That is something we have to discuss, right? People that were locked up did not get early cancer screenings, and where are we going to go with that? The depression and suicide, unemployment, the substance abuse, the poverty that we all have witnessed because of this? But no, we won't talk about that. We have to talk about how awful and how we've got to have a vaccine before we can get back to any sense of normalcy, except for the fact that when you break it down, break it on down, as the kids like to say, 9,700 deaths attributed to the coronavirus alone. In other words, boy, we really have to rethink a couple of things, do we not? That's the first little bit of coronavirus news. The second little bit of coronavirus news is one that the New York Times decided to display. And Town Hall put it this way: oops. Now, when you start an article with the words oops, that's a problem. Looks like the vast majority of positive COVID results should have been negative. The same person, this is Bronson Stocking, who has looked at this, the numbers, and discovered that if you go to the New York Times, they have an article. Potentially 90% of those who have tested positive for COVID have such insignificant amounts of the virus present in their bodies that such individuals do not need to isolate, nor are they candidates for contact tracing. Leading public health experts are now concerned that overtesting is responsible for misdiagnosing a huge number of people with harmless amounts of the virus in their systems. Now, do you see, Jake, you're my millennial correspondent, do you see how this is both concerning and uplifting both at the same time? Where you can hear about these stories and say, well, that's good, right? I mean, it's not as bad as we've been told. Oh, man, it's not as bad as we've been told. And in the meantime, there are a lot of people's lives that have been destroyed in different ways. The good news is that the kids are going back to school and you've got nothing to worry about. They've taken precautions. In Trump County, getting the kids back to school, certainly this is something that you should feel is about time, right? And then when you hear these numbers, you should feel a little bit of relief, unless, of course, the relief is only temporary because, as the governor mentioned on Trey's program a few weeks ago on The Drive, that watch out, because the minute there are a couple of cases in the state, once school starts, the media is going to go into super hyper overdrive on how everything has to be taken out. We got to pull the kids out. Everything is bad. Of course, we're not talking about how severe the case is. We're not talking about the condition of the child. We're not talking about the condition of the child before they may have contracted this, whether or not there's any way to prove. And that's part of it too. We hear all of these stories about Sturgis and oh man, this is going to be a petri dish of COVID cases because of all the people that were there on the streets and no mask. The president of the United States and his acceptance speech just the other day and the last day of the RNC, and there was no protocol out there. But of course, there were hundreds of thousands of people that were marching in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. No mention of it there. Everything's fine. It's only when the media wants to make something out of it, because it's a conservative or a Republican that decided to get together with friends or to get together in a large group, that we have to make a huff and a puff. But when it's protesters, when it's large groups massing in Washington, D.C., when it's some of the rioting that's been happening on the street, no, we don't mention that. So one thing we can also take away that is a positive today. It's an enlightening day. It's a positive Monday. You ready for some more positive news? There were hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. You probably heard about them. Probably heard about some of the things that they talked about. Al Sharpton was there. No justice, no peace. He's said that many times, although Al Sharpton has some other things to answer to that we won't bring up right now. But needless to say, that because of those large groups, we have no worries about people voting in person. It's over, everybody. Nothing to worry about. Everybody now can be assured that even in a place like Washington, D.C., where, you know, you got a lot of Democrats, a lot of libs running the show over there, if they're more than happy to allow for people in massive amounts of groups, quantity-wise, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people amassing together in one area, then certainly in-person voting is not going to be an issue. So once again, we can dismiss that ridiculous notion that you can't show up at a polling place. Just like after all the rioting and looting and destruction of cities run by Democrats across the country is concerned, and the things that are happening in those in anarchists, Marxist movements like Black Lives Matter, not my words, their words, they're the Marxists, they've said it, that when they show up in your town and shine the lights in your building and start to make a lot of noise and want you to wake up because, you know, you don't agree with them. And when we say, hey, listen, you know what? I'm a little concerned about the rioting and the looting and the death that I'm seeing, that, I'd like to maybe institute and go through with my constitutional Second Amendment rights. When you start talking about gun control, shush. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can see, shush. Yeah, that's over. We're not going to have that talk anymore. That's done. Thank you very much. All right. So about some of the things that are happening in major metropolitan cities run by Democrats. Let's take a break, and when we come back, let's hear from one, Ted Wheeler. Ted Wheeler, the mayor of Portland, who the president called out by name, and rightly so, because of the shooting and the death in his city over the weekend, and how it took place and why it took place and what could have been if only they would have been shutting down the rioting and the looting there. But no, it's peaceful protests. Sorry. What did the mayor there have to say about the president? Because it's his fault. I'm not kidding. That's where they went, and that's where we'll go coming up. Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
A disabled vehicle at Airport Pulling Road and the East Trail is slowing traffic on the East Trail for almost about a half mile eastbound. Also, the crash on 75 southbound, rollover crash at mile marker 117 is slowing traffic for about a mile. Heading south of Corkscrew to Bonita Beach Road, guys, avoid the interstate. Go ahead and hop on 41 or Three Oaks for a much smoother commute. That drove to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
The back-to-school forecast for you Monday includes a high temperature of 91 degrees, our heat index over 100, as we will see a chance for some passing scattered showers and storms as we go throughout the late morning and all the way into this afternoon. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing costs program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Why? Why pay more for a used car or truck when Galliana Kia in Fort Myers can sell you a new car for less? 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
At Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 months, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 to assign plus tax title dealer and acquisition fee, 0 security deposit with lender approval expires Monday.
Home is truly where the heart is. To protect it, you need top quality roofing installed by experts. That's why we chose CFS Roofing Services. Now my home's weather-tight and beautifully resilient.
New roof leak from old Hurricane Irma damage? Insurance claim deadline is September 9th. Call CFS now for a free roof analysis. 561-2600 or cfsroofing.com. I'm David Crowther, and I approve this message.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Protecting your family is a priority. Smoke and carbon monoxide detectors are two of the best life-saving investments for the safety of your home and your family. But they do actually expire. The expert electricians at Mr. Sparky will test and advise or install the best unit for your home. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Are you ready to embark on your healthcare journey? At Millennium Physician Group, we want you, our patient, to be in good health always. That's why we created our Destination Health New Patient Program. It's all about partnering with your primary care provider to achieve the best healthcare outcome for you. Now, are you ready for the journey of your life? Connect with Millennium Physician Group and be on your way to Destination Health. Call 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Get a 2019 Buick Encore SUV with only 584 miles for $20,000. Practically a new car for thousands less. Or a 2004 Buick Park Avenue with only 56,000 miles. Florida Condo Car for $6,500. With over 300 vehicles, visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Look, like I was just saying, I feel very nervous.
Yeah.
The same way I did 4 years ago at this time.
Yeah, there's Bill Maher, who's feeling pretty nervous, the same way he was feeling 4 years ago. I wonder why. What is he feeling nervous about? I mean, Hillary isn't running, so you don't have any...
I am sick and tired.
Sorry. Oh, it never gets old. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, he's feeling nervous. I mean, you got to be careful. Careful what you wish for. You got to... When you're a Democrat, and I know there are lots of Democrats who listen to the program, and I appreciate you. I really do. But when you're a Democrat, it's a whole lot better for you to do what you've done in the past, which is make people believe you're a moderate and don't tell anybody, wink and a nod, and maybe even make people believe you're a Republican, like they do in some of the local races, like the school board races where they tell you're not allowed to ask if they're a Democrat or Republican, and then they'll tell you Republican. They'll even register as one, even though they're not, just because they know it's the only way that they'll ever get elected. And then once they're in, they'll say all kinds of awful stuff about the president and the governor. And of course, that doesn't have anything to do with the way that they would lead a school board, which is really ridiculous because when you consider it, everything is political and everybody is political. But no, they're the most pristine among us. So about you Democrats, maybe don't tell us what you actually think and believe. When you come out and find out that Joe Biden's staff donated to groups that decided to pay bail in Minneapolis and others do as well, shouldn't we be talking about that a little more? Shouldn't we talk a little more about the fact that Joe Biden is trying to explain to everybody that he's against the protests and not the protests, just the rioting, but yet is his campaign and his encouragement to make sure we pay for bail for those that, you can fill in the blank. How do you square that circle or right that wrong or whatever the right verbiage would be? But anyway, I digress. So maybe Democrats are getting a little nervous, and maybe they're upset at some of the polling that is starting to show that the numbers are shrinking, and in some places that it's quite the opposite, that the polling for the president, there's been a bump. There's been an RNC bump that the DNC did not get, so that is good to see. When we start to hear more about some of the things that are the reality in major metropolitan cities like in Portland, where you have the mayor, Ted Wheeler in Portland, who decides to go crazy, go off on the president, is pretty upset. How dare he say that I can't control my city and that I need to bring in federal law enforcement into the area. I've got this. I'm fine. And as a matter of fact,
we've read your tweets slamming private citizens to the point of receiving death threats. And we've listened to your attacks on immigrants. We've listened to you label Mexicans rapists.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not what happened. That never happened. And do we have to go for the millionth time over why you continue to do that and why the left continues to talk that way, and how when you have a conversation with the press about the president and about the death and destruction that's happening in your city of Portland, and that's where you go? Do you understand how... Look, and for all the Democrats that are listening to me right now, I'm just asking you, I'm begging you to have a conversation. You're always talking about having a conversation. You realize that just like, white supremacists are good people, just like he said as well, Ted Wheeler, right?
And it's you who claimed that white supremacists are good people.
Do we have to explain to you again for the millionth time that that's not what he said? If we start there, then maybe we can talk about other things. How about that?
This is Daybreak.
92.5 Fox News.
It's time to clean out your files and finally get rid of that mountain of paper. Collier County residents can bring 20 pounds of documents for free shredding. The shredding event takes place the first Saturday of every month at a recycling center near you. The next event is Saturday, September 5th. Shredding trucks will be on site from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Naples, North Collier, and Northeast Collier. Here's your chance to get rid of old confidential documents for free. For more details, visit colliercountyfl.gov/recycle.
Hey, this is Papa with a story from a lady that had a roof inspection from another company. This other company sent a so-called adjuster, and as he walked around her home, he had a big wad of chewing tobacco stuck in his jaw. This lady said the guy made her a little nervous, and when he finished in less than 2 minutes, he said, "Lady, you need a new roof." Spatooey. And he unloaded a big wad of chewing tobacco on her front lawn. Spatooey. Oh, well, we don't chew, and it takes us a lot longer than 2 minutes to give you a proper roof inspection. If we do find needed repairs, we promise not to unload on your front lawn. Let me show you how we can clean and seal your tile roof, your pavers, and your pool deck. If you have needed repairs, we'll do our best to make it affordable. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, we make a solemn pledge to never unload on your front lawn. Remember, we clean it, seal it, and make your tile roof, pavers, and pool deck look new and beautiful. Call me, Papa, at 945-2700. That's 945-2700. Remember, area code 239-945-2700.
License number CCC 1331790.
Hi, this is Kirk Cameron from My Faith Votes. This fall, Americans are faced with what may be the most important election in decades, maybe ever. If we as Christians stay home and don't vote this November, our children's future is at terrible risk. The consequences will be to unfairly shift this country's massive burdens to our children and grandchildren. Each of us can do something to make a difference. We can vote. Make the pledge to vote. Visit myfaithvotes.org today. That's myfaithvotes.org.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? For experienced advice on planning for retirement, tune in to Saving the Investor with Alfie Townsend, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Drew Barrymore. I have a new daytime show premiering this fall, and we are going to explore all sorts of things together. We can share news, lift each other up, be a little naughty, cry, laugh, eat, cry again, and then laugh, and then maybe cry again or eat. Let's do this. Who's with me?
The Drew Barrymore Show, coming to daytime.
I can't hear you.
Drew Barrymore, coming soon to Wink TV Afternoons.
News. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump plans to visit Kenosha, Wisconsin tomorrow, despite a request to stay away.
Your presence will only hinder healing. That from Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers. The president is going to Kenosha to inspect damage caused by unrest after police shot Jacob Blake. The White House says people in Kenosha have been asking for leadership and that the president looks forward to visiting to help the city heal and rebuild.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. Joe Biden campaigns in southwestern Pennsylvania today, and former Trump advisor Steve Bannon has a federal court hearing.
Bannon and 3 other men accused of money laundering and conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection to the group We Build the Wall are scheduled to make an appearance in the Southern District of New York. Bannon's accused of diverting millions of dollars from the fund. The founder of the group, Brian Kolfage, is accused of taking an actual salary, even though he'd said he wouldn't take a penny from the nonprofit.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. America's listening to Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Today, thousands of kids head back to the classroom, and school districts, parents, and students across Southwest Florida are making sure they're ready for the first day. While some parents opted for virtual learning this year, many say they just want their kids back in the classroom eventually. Many kids will be catching the bus to class this morning. In Lee County, bus drivers are responsible for sanitizing 4 times a day in between each route. Children must also wear a mask during the entire bus ride. If a student or driver tests positive, that bus will be taken out of service for at least 3 days. And students taking part in the Lee Home Connect program can get breakfast and lunch meals starting on Tuesday. Parents, you can get 5 meals for the week. You can pick them up on Tuesdays or Thursdays from 7:15 a.m. until 8:30 a.m., depending on which school grab-and-go location you choose. No power right now at the Gateway Charter Elementary School. They say the storms we had last night caused a transformer to blow. Officials say it will likely not be repaired by the start of the school day today. They'll communicate with families this morning with the latest information on a school closure. From masks to hand sanitizers to social distancing, schools will look a lot different. Collier County Public Schools wants to ease your mind when it comes to protecting your kids. Safety glasses are now optional, and a lunch will not be eaten at a desk, but it will be eaten in a cafeteria or outside. Small business owners in Collier County can now get some more money to help stay in business. Today, more than $10 million will be up for grabs. It's all part of the Collier Cares Act. The deadline today is September 14th at noon. I'm Corey Lazar, Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
A disabled vehicle at Airport Pulling Road and the East Trail is slowing traffic on the East Trail for almost about a half mile eastbound. Also, the crash on 75 southbound, rollover crash at mile marker 117 is slowing traffic for about a mile. Heading south of Corkscrew to Bonita Beach Road, guys, avoid the interstate. Go ahead and hop on 41 or 3 Oaks for a much smoother commute. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Back to school for the kids, and today we're looking at more heat, more humidity. At least for a portion of the day, we will see a chance for some scattered rain and storms. Initially, we'd start along the coastline, then push inland as we go throughout the day. Keep the umbrella handy just in case. Temperatures in the 90s with our heat index over 100. More scattered rain and storms for the rest of the work week, the weekend, and all the way towards Labor Day as it gets even hotter with temps in the lower to middle 90s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Steven Tomatoes sports page. Come for the food, Steve for the sports.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Steven Tomatoes sports page. Come for the food, Steve for the sports.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592. Talk and text lines streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe. It helps to keep us going. It's free. Just go to YouTube and type in Drew Steele Radio, and there you go. It's as simple as that. Keeps us on Facebook. It keeps us on YouTube. Keeps us going. All right, time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5. As friend of the show, Elie Mystal wrote so eloquently in The Nation, the Republicans invited a cadre of professional black friends to validate Donald Trump and make white people feel a little less racist while still very much supporting white supremacy. I mean, I watched the Republican convention, and seeing the slew of black speakers that they had, it really did look like a modern-day minstrel show to me.
What? That was Sunday. Her name is Tiffany Cross. She was filling in for Joy Reid on Morning Joy. So really only about 4 or 5 people actually saw this. So I'm just telling you what she said. Disparagingly referred to the speakers of color at the Republican National Convention, including Senator Tim Scott, Heisman Trophy winner Herschel Walker, as minstrels. Snapping, quote, "It really did look like a modern-day minstrel show to me." That's the reading there from the Daily Wire and their quote. And I'm just wondering how that works. It's amazing how the left in this country speaks disparagingly towards those individuals, people who, because of the things that have been in their life that they have that is tangible, the things that are going on and the positive things that are happening because of this president, the positive interactions through many years that they have had with this president, to speak about those things. No, you're not allowed to do that. And as a matter of fact, if you do, not only are we going to tell you you can't do that, because that's what the left does. You know, the left puts people in a box. You're not allowed to say anything outside of this box. You have to be here. This is as far as you're allowed to go in your life without the help of the federal government. There's no other way that they will continue to do that. But not only do that, but then actually use language that would be incredibly offensive if anybody else used it, like a modern-day minstrel show. But of course, because the left uses it, that's okay. No problem here.
Number 4.
I saw that one gentleman, I think he was the Attorney General. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, African-American gentleman, and he was pushing back on Joe Biden, saying, you know, if you vote for Trump, you ain't black. And I don't think that is a good thing for Joe Biden to have said. You know, he said, I have my own mind. Now, I don't get what's that reasoning, but I don't get, you know, people do have their own minds. I have never been a fan of conformity. I have never been a fan of we all wear pink on Wednesday. We all have to do this. We all have to say this. We all have to do this then. You know, I don't bend the knee. And I get that people are pushing back on that kind of stuff. So, look, like I was just saying, I feel very nervous.
Yeah.
The same way I did 4 years ago at this time.
That is Bill Maher feeling pretty nervous. Same way he was 4 years ago at this time, especially the way that you just heard the fill-in host for Joy Reid's show, Morning Joy, and what she said and how Bill Maher might push back against that kind of talk. And he was talking to Joy Reid at the time because I don't know how many different programs. I guess I don't understand what they do over at MSNBC, but there's Bill Maher saying he's nervous about the numbers. He's also nervous about the way the discussion is happening. Now, the big question is, does Bill Maher still get to keep his job? Is he allowed to talk like that or what? I'm just asking.
Number 3.
And the president is only motivated by one thing: what's in it for him. And he sees this violence and his ability to agitate more of it as useful to his campaign. What it does to the country, the loss of life, he doesn't care. 180,000 people have died from the pandemic because of his incompetence and this malignant narcissism. And he simply not only won't act to stop the violence in the streets, but he will try to send federal National Guard forces or others to aggravate it if he can. He will stoke it through his social media.
Whoa. All right, there's everybody's favorite clown, that is Representative Adam Schiff, Democrat of California, on CNN's State of the Union, suggesting that it's the president, it's his fault, he's the one that's stoking the flames of violence. This stoking the flames of violence seems to be the new meme du jour for the left in the country, and how they're going to go after this president, and then suggesting that the president doesn't, he thinks that the violence is helpful. He thinks that he agitates it and it's useful for his campaign. And then he says he won't only act to stop the violence on the street, he'll try to send federal National Guard forces or others to aggravate it. I'm sorry. He's sending federal National Guard forces to aggravate the situation, not to stop it at all, because you realize that's what the mayor of the city of Portland, for example, is doing. Said no one ever, because it's not happening.
Number 2. We'll do what's required by law. Those members that are entitled to the briefings and classified information will still get that information. What we won't be doing is all member briefings to all members of the House and all members of the Senate. And, we've tried that, and the information hasn't been protected. And so we've implemented procedures where we'll primarily brief through written materials, but then we'll also provide briefings to the members that are entitled to it.
Okay, so there is the Office of Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, who was on Fox News with Maria Bartiromo over the weekend to talk about the latest events about the intelligence apparatus, and now that from now on that instead of having individuals there to brief verbally what is going on with the with national intelligence, they're going to have it in written form. And the left in this country is beside themselves. How dare he do this? What would even give him the right? What would make him think that this is a directive that he should put forward? Well, it turns out that we come to find out that the verbal in-person briefings have been leaked, and now they know who the individuals are that have been leaking. I know, to nobody's shock and outrage, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and others who have been out there now who have decided to get upset about the fact that there are Democrats who are leaking information to a willing media. And and now that they realize that is happening, it's like, we're going to kind of curtail that a little bit, which is a good thing. But there's more on that we're going to get to in just a second.
Number 1.
President Trump, you bring no peace. You bring no respect to our democracy. You, Mr. President, need to do your job as the leader of this nation. And I, Mr. President, will do my job as the mayor of this city.
Yeah, there's part-time tough guy, the mayor of the city of Portland, Ted Wheeler, who's talking tough to the president. Of course, he doesn't talk tough to the people who are out there murdering individuals on his street.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Yeah, when does that happen? When does the Democrat mayor of the city of Portland, Ted Wheeler, go out and start to talk tough to those that are violently raging in the streets there in Portland, and that are killing individuals? A protester killed. The president saying, listen, National Guard will bring them in. We'll quell all of this, rejecting the offer. And then not soon after the rejection, the death of an individual on his streets. It's interesting how the mayor talks tough to the president on a microphone when he's far away from his face. But yet, when there are individuals on his streets, he won't talk tough. He actually walks among them to try to show solidarity, in which case that they scream and yell at him to the point where he has to cower and get back into a building someplace safely. That actually did happen. And then, spewing the nonsense that that Democrat mayors will do when their city are in flames and rejecting the president and the help to kind of quell some of the violence, he says.
And now you're attacking Democratic mayors and the very institutions of democracy that have served this nation well since its founding.
Yeah, well, I mean, the mayors have served well in cities. It's just right now, and you and other Democrats and the results that are happening in those cities that are quantifiable. You can actually see the evidence and the science and the data. You know, the things that you care about. It's out there anyway.
Do you seriously wonder, Mr. President, why this is the first time in decades that America has seen this level of violence?
Yeah, it's because you're allowing people like Antifa and the Marxists known as Black Lives Matter, the movement, their words, not mine, to take over the streets, to do what it is that they feel like doing, to the point where there are certain individuals after this protester was shot dead, 2 bullets, shot dead there on the street, to where those same radicals on the street had something to say about the death of that individual.
Angry, you're not paying attention. If y'all are not angry, you're not with me. Everybody needs to realize what's going on in these streets. Our community can hold its own without the police. We can take out the trash on our own. I am not sad that a fascist died tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sad that a blanking fascist died on our streets tonight, and to the cheers of others. Yeah. Where are you, tough guy? Where are you to stop those individuals from doing that and saying those things? You heard that, right? No. It's all about Trump. So he says,
it's you who have created the hate and the division.
Yeah, so it's the president that's done it. Sure. Go ahead.
It's you who have not found a way to say the names of black people killed by police officers, even as people in law enforcement have. And it's you who claimed that white supremacists are good people.
All right, you're disqualified. That's it. You now officially, as someone who can speak to this directly, are now officially disqualified. For the millionth time, we have to go through this. And the issue of the president saying, good people, white supremacists. We did it last week. I'm not going to do it now. It's out there if you want to watch last week's program on this, where I play the audio, and others have as well, to dispel this hated rumor and meme and myth about the president saying that he never did. But yet that trope, it just keeps happening. They keep saying it. Why do they do it? Because for those that don't take a moment of time to actually find out what the facts are, because they're so blinded by their hatred of this individual that they won't even question somebody like the tough guy Democrat mayor of the city of Portland talking tough against the president. But it continues. It happens. Now, how ridiculous has it become? Can I mention how crazy and ridiculous it is right now? I'm not joking when I read this headline to you. And I might even include Jake the millennial, on this this comment. I'm seeing that we got some callers in, and I'm going to get to those in just a second. So Jake, are you paying attention? I want you to listen to this and tell me if this is one of the most ridiculous things you've heard. You ready?
Here, what you got?
Dated yesterday. I'm looking at Yahoo News. Here's the headline. Are politics beginning to seep into sports?
Beginning? Where's Yahoo News been?
I don't.
They must be living in a whole different world.
Jake barely knows the difference between which ball they use in soccer and football, and even he knows that politics is in sports. It isn't seeping in and beginning. Oh, it's knee deep. It's neck deep at this point. I mean, we all know that. Do I have to even go through some of the headlines that I'm looking at right now? Seahawks coach Pete Carroll. This is about racism in America that white people don't know. Packers no longer sticking to sports. They'll work on voter registration and body cams. Oh, I can go on, and you know Black Lives Matter, the words there right on the court. And LeBron James says, it's not going to stop until we see change. Of course, is he describing what the change is? Is anybody describing what that change is?
Like, what do you want?
Well, that is a question. That is something that would be interesting to hear from people like LeBron James. What's the change? Like, specifically give me your change. You as an individual, you personally, what is it? I'd like to know. So would a lot of other folks. Do we have any of the callers there, Jake? Kurt on line 1, is he still there in Naples? We've got a couple of minutes. I can take his call. Kurt, are you there?
Hey, Drew.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what's on your mind, Kurt?
Well, first of all, I'm calling from Pence County because I figure they're going to end up calling Barron Collier a white supremacist, and since you're going to make Lee Trump County, it works for me.
Okay, so seriously, wait a minute. Kurt's starting a new movement now. So
yeah, why wait? Let's get going.
So now Trump County, formerly known as Lee County, that I have dubbed. Yep. So now he's saying, look, Barron Collier, sooner or later, there's going to be something that they're going to find against the family. So why not change it to Pence County? Okay. All right.
Vice President, all right. Seriously, though, I got a question. I'd like your opinion.
Yes, sir.
Because none of the other radio people are talking about this.
I'll say it.
And after Kamala Harris had stated about, even after the election, these people are going to continue the killings and the looting.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, do you think, because no one's mentioned about the militia in this country, and I'm wondering if a lot of the Americans that are tired of this, they know the president is waiting for the governors to do what they should do in their states, and they're not. And I watched over the weekend some Republicans fighting back with their just driving through with the protests, letting them know they're tired of it. And
when going through Portland and LA, and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you ever think that the militia might finally say, you know what, we're going to help the president, we're tired of this crap?
I hope it doesn't get to that, Kurt. I'll be honest. I don't want it. Look, the thing that has, and Kurt, listen, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. 239-479-5592. And I just got a minute, but I'll say this. Ultimately, the one thing that people throughout the centuries have marveled about this country is what? Is the peaceful transfer of power. It's the one thing, it's one of the things that makes us so different, so incredibly special. That's it. It's the peaceful transfer of power that we have done year after year after year. We constantly do this, and people look and they see that and they marvel at it through the centuries. I'm not talking about decades. I'm talking about centuries. And once that goes away, once there is no guarantee, that's when all bets are off. That's when I talk to people, that's their concern. We can dig in deep tomorrow, more on that. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
True.